What's up, dudes and dudettes? Ryan here. Brandon is off for the night, so I'm just going to do a couple one-offs. I'm going to shrink this one a little bit, bring it more local. Brandon and I are very big Michigan football fans. I did another episode where I pretty much breezed through the top 25 Week 1 games and went in on Week 2, talked about that a little bit. But I'm really going to localize this episode and talk about some Michigan football. We're huge fans, and just would love to talk about it. If this isn't your style, feel free to hop on our other 43 or 40 some odd episodes on all podcast networks, streams, channels, whatever we got there. Lost for words there, but just go check that stuff out and enjoy that. But right now I'm going to talk about Michigan, their Week 1 performance against Fresno State. And then I'm going to do a little bit of talking about Michigan and Texas moving forward. A little nervous about this one. But let's look at Michigan and Fresno State. I didn't like this game all off season. Fresno State is definitely not a pushover. They're not a Furman. They're not a Western Michigan. They're not, just some weak opponent that it's like, okay, we'll see what we can do, Colorado State. Let's see what we can do against them, and we can polish things up. It's like, no, Fresno State's a team that can beat you. They can beat you. If things go wrong, they will take advantage of it. And they did a couple times during this game, and, we'll go forward with it. One thing I want to point out, and I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I love Donovan Edwards, but a lot of people were talking about him possibly having a Heisman-type season, and I never saw that. Donovan Edwards lacks one thing. He lacks consistency. He's a flash in the frying pan, a big flash. But he needs to be such a big flash it catches the house on fire. He has big performances, big runs. Penn State, Ohio State, Washington last year, but they're down to 1 or 2 runs a game. He'll be averaging, 30, 40 yards through the game, but then those 2 big runs he has, or the 1 big run, just pads those stats. And I was really sitting there. I was talking to my brother. It's like, I don't think Edwards is going to have as big of a year as everyone thinks he will. Just for that reason, he just never has had the consistency. He gets touched at the line, he's going down. I've never seen him break a tackle on the line. He gets to a linebacker though, he's gone. That's what he is. He's so fast. He needs a perfect hole. You give him a perfect hole, which is not going to happen when teams are loading the box, he's gone. He's absolutely gone. No one's going to catch him. And it's probably happened before, but it's a rarity that he's going to get caught from behind. But the problem is you don't always get those perfect holes where Blake Corum can juke himself out of a phone booth. Quick stutter set. We've seen it 100 times. Donovan Edwards does not have that. He has that patience. He finds the hole and then he bolts through it and he's gone. But that doesn't happen all the time. And when it doesn't happen, you don't get sustained drives. And I told my brother, I said, I really think Mullings is going to have a hell of a year. No one's talking about him. Nobody was. And he's a bruiser. And it's what we need. It's like a Haskins 2.0. He's probably stronger than Haskins. Some of the runs that he had against Fresno where things started finally opening up. It was kind of refreshing. But I tell you what, I really think I don't want. My knee-jerk reaction is the Donovan Edwards experiment at running back is over. He's lost his starting job or wasn't able to sustain a starting job the past 3 years. We saw Mullings come in and play a lot more. And I really think Edwards, we are hurting at receiver. Why is he not a slot receiver? He has hands. He catches the ball. He's proved it time and time again. Put him somewhere else where he's going to be dangerous. I hate the dual back lineup, but I don't want to waste. It's not a formation I'm too big on, but man, if you were to split Donovan Edwards out, he could cross a team to death. To death. I mean, he's even a threat down the field. Utilize him that way. We're hurting in receiver. We're not getting separation. I would try him there, but that's just a knee-jerk reaction. Maybe we continue, but we don't have a lot of time to figure it out. Michigan does not have a lot of time to figure it out. Texas is here. They're here in 4 days. This is it. It's time to figure it 3 days when I'm recording this. This is it. It's time to shit now or get off the pot. So we don't have a lot of time to figure that out. But with history lining up, maybe we do put him in so he pops off a couple of big runs against a big team. It's what he does. I love Donovan Edwards. He's a great person. He carries himself very well. But we need to find something to where he is utilized and we get to use his skills to benefit not only himself but the team. And right now I really think Khalil Mullings is the guy to go to when we need to sustain a drive and pop off these 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs, that help keep our defense off the field. I do have some concerns on the offense when it comes to the quarterback. I don't think we helped our quarterbacks very much. Warren didn't have a dreadful game, but he didn't have a good game. But he was a couple throws away from having a great game. The one interception in the end zone, he puts another 3 feet on that ball, it's a touchdown. And we're probably not even talking about this. Colston Loveland had a drop, which was surprising. That was huge. We're a few plays away from this being a blowout, but there's still a lot of concern here pertaining to the quarterback situation. Everyone thought Alex Orji. I don't know. Everyone outside of the locker room thought Alex Orji was going to start. And I see a lot of good in Alex Orji. I'm not going to base off that one throw. That one, I mean, he missed that throw bad. But we're not giving him any opportunity to get into a rhythm. Like, sure, he skipped that ball to him. But you know what? I seen J.J. McCarthy throw a lot of boneheaded balls. For example, against Alabama, we got lucky that guy stepped out of bounds. That was a terrible throw out. There were a couple times where J.J. McCarthy was like, holy hell, dude, what are you doing there? So I'm not going to base Alex Orji off that one that he ended up skipping to the sidelines. Can it happen? No, but that's not like he was in there getting in a rhythm. He's cold, man. We can't be doing that to a quarterback. I hope it didn't shake his confidence too bad, but we'll see. But I figured we don't have an opportunity like we did a couple years ago, where Cade McNamara got to play one game and J.J. McCarthy the second. We knew right away after J.J. played against Hawaii and just dismantled them, just throwing 12 passes. We knew right away, okay, JJ's the guy. Cade will. I think everybody knew Cade will transfer once he struggled against Colorado State. We knew right away. This game, we don't know. I don't know if we're able to sustain using two quarterbacks in a game, especially like Texas. So we'll have to see. I did see a lot of good though. Colt Loveland played a near flawless game outside of that drop. Lining him up on the white as a whiteout was crazy to see. We're throwing the ball on the inside a lot more. I don't know if a lot of people have noticed that. The screens are not working at all. Wide receiver screens, they don't work. They're not working this year. I don't know if we're not getting the ball out there quick enough, but that was brutal to see when we threw two in a row and just absolutely stalled a drive and kept putting our defense back onto the field. So those are not working. Got to figure out something else. I don't know if we were running bland. If we wanted, we might have been. Like, you know what? We can beat Fresno playing a very bland offense and leaning on our defense. But that's a dangerous game to play. It's a very dangerous game to play. So we're gonna see what happens with Texas if there is a next level or if there's not. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, Loveland hit 87 yards on 8 catches and a touchdown. Mullings had 15 carries and 92 yards. So Donovan Edwards had a receiving touchdown. See where I'm getting at there? I just think we can really benefit off that. But I feel really uneasy about the quarterback situation. There was no answered questions there pertaining to it. Is Davis Warren going to be the starter? If so, we got to play to his strengths big time. We got to figure that out. But it was the first game of the season. There was a lot of new during this game. A lot of new personnel. The line completely new. The center struggled a couple times. We got to figure that out. Center has to get big. That's another thing I'm going to bring up too with Donovan Edwards and why I think he should be moved out to a slot receiver. His pass protection is terrible. He's late. He's not very good at identifying it. You can go past the last 3 years. Blake Corum was the man at picking that up. Haskins was also very good at picking up the blitzing or helping out, but most of all the blitzing linebackers or corners. Donovan Edwards, go back and watch the game. He struggles with it, and he always has. I see no improvement there. Mullings was awesome. He was awesome at defending. Either it was Orgy, which was not so much throwing the ball, or Warren. So we'll have to see there. But the line's got to improve. Center position above all needs to improve immediately for us to have success throughout this entire season. But yeah, Fresno, not a pushover. Another good. We have a kicker. Wow, do we have a kicker? That guy just went balls to the wall. I was stunned watching him kick those field goals. Zavada. What a name, too. But yeah, Zavada, 45 yards, nailed it. 53 yards, kicked that damn thing into the net. And then he turned around and kicked a 55-yarder. Crazy good. So I feel really good about him. He was kicking it at all angles, just wasn't straight ahead. Kicked it from, I believe it was the left hash mark. Did very well. So that's gonna be a strong point. We're gonna need that. We're gonna have some drives that are gonna stall out. Near the 30 or right outside the red zone or within the red zone, until things get better. So we need to take the points while they're there. And having a sure-footed kicker there is definitely going to be big, very, very big. So we'll see. I got two outlooks moving forward to Texas. Either the same team comes out, and that's what we saw, and we get murdered, blistered, bloodied. Texas wins big. Or we come out, we surprise them, we open up the playbook. It's now or never. It's Texas. We open up the playbook. We make some adjustments in the offensive line, gel them out a little bit. We don't leave our defense on an island, putting them on the field constantly. And we win in a slugfest. That's how I see it. It's either Texas will win big this weekend or Michigan will win in a slugfest, 27-17. So we're going to see. But Michigan's defense is absolutely elite. They held Fresno, I think it was like 40-some-odd games. They're the lowest point total in 40-something games. 10 points. Man, I'll tell you what. The biggest ball don't lie moment happened in that game when Will Johnson picked that 86 yards screen pass. Oh, was that beautiful. Does that show Will Johnson's intelligence, too, on watching film? That's what they said. That is a film move. He saw it in film. He recognized it right away. He crept up. He didn't sell out either. He did not sell out that he knew the play. He knew it, but physically he did not sell it out. He crept forward, gone. Picked it up. No problem. Beautiful play. I'll never forget. Jabril Peppers had a moment, I think it was against Minnesota, where he would have solidified himself as a Michigan all-time great, and he dropped the ball. And that's when I knew. I was like, that's why we don't see him on offense. He's got terrible hands. And he did. Jabril Peppers did not have really good hands. But, man, Johnson just, the football gods, on that drive, we had the one interception to where we trapped it. He trapped it. And then the other weakest roughing the quarterback call I've ever seen. It was so bad. I know it wasn't happening. It was so bad it felt like the fix was in. That's how bad of a call that was. But a football gods corrected it. We picked it off a third time in the drive, and he was gone. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Texas does against this defense. We'll see. Texas is a whole nother animal. But Michigan has a lot to figure out before this happens. Will they? I think so. I think they'll get a lot of it corrected. When unfortunately, sometimes when you have so many issues like this, it's hard to correct them all. So hopefully we correct the most important ones. And I would say the center play needs to be fixed, and running back. We need to make sure we get a bruiser in there and get a little more creative routes, open up the playbook, utilize Edwards somewhere else. That's my knee-jerk reaction. I might be wrong, guys. I might be completely wrong, but it's just what I've seen consistency-wise. So we'll see. I'll give 2 predictions. Like I said, it's either going to be Texas big, and I'll probably say like 35-17, or it's going to be Michigan in a slugfest. And I said 27-17 earlier. I'll probably say 27-21 Michigan. So we'll go from there. And I hope I'm right on the latter. And we'll go from there. So I don't know if I get to do this every weekend. I love watching Michigan football. It's what I'm about. I love college football, period. Love it. So hopefully I get some one-offs here and there and talk about how the season's going. I'm not big on talking about games beforehand because I don't want to end up like ESPN with a bunch of talking heads. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I might be completely wrong on this, but it's fun to predict. It's fun to talk about. So we'll see what happens. I trust in Sharon Moore on getting everything corrected. And, Michigan might be looking at a 9-3 year. That's okay after everything that we lost and kind of righting the ship and, I guess, creating a new foundation after the national championship last year. So the national championship will carry me over a 9-3 season. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. But we need to continue moving forward, and that's what I believe Sharon Moore will do. So, all right, guys, I hope you liked the episode. Go Blue. And we'll hopefully Brandon and I will be talking to you guys soon. As Brandon says, till next time, my friends. See you later.